Hi and welcome. I'm Liam Forde, founder and CEO of The Zone here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And I have a special guest this morning, Ray Davies, who's a sailor, coach, entrepreneur, fundraiser, just about everything for the winning Emirates Team New Zealand crew.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thank
congratulations on that win, Ray.
Thanks, Liam. Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you just very quickly about the importance of communication on as part of the winning formula. So,
Yeah. Oh, look, for us, and the environment on the water is incredibly harsh. There's probably no other sporting environment that I know is quite so tough. Maybe the bottom of a scrum is pretty rugged, but for us on the water with that wind noise, which is just relentless, literally like going down the motorway in your car in stormy conditions, trying to talk to the passenger with his head out the window of the other side of the car. We literally have 100 kilometres of wind noise, and then the spray, particularly harsh. So to be able to communicate without feeling like you're yelling, to be able to talk in a normal voice in that environment's really, really key. As soon as that's happening, it's amazing how the stress levels come right down on the guys, and they can just keep going about their tasks, literally shutting out all of that external sort of noise.
Yeah, and so if you sort of put that into a leadership context, how important is communication and leadership in terms of getting to where you got to?
Yeah, well, there's so many facets of that, but if you're just talking about just on the boat, what we see on TV, you got to have your skipper, your leader there, someone who actually makes the final decision, but you need a lot of input into that.
Right.
They need to know what's happening with the wind on the other side of the course. There's a lot of blind spots on the boat, so you need really good communication around what's actually happening over there. At times there's other people on the boat have a much better view or perspective than the helmsman steering the boat, so they need to be able to relay and very, very clearly and as concise as possible. You spend a lot of time, even just the words we use on board, but we're fortunate to have a sailing team where a lot of them are sailed against each other and with each other over their whole career. So it can be sometimes just a couple of grunts, and you know what's going on.
Yeah. Keep it to the minimum.
But as a leadership of the whole America's Cup team, well, that's a whole nother story again, and that's massive amount of work goes into bringing together a very, very diverse group of people.
Right.
With us, with America's Cup, we build our own boat. Everything's bespoke. So there's obviously a lot of designers and structural engineers, boat builders, painters, all sorts of different people that we have to bring together. So the leadership of the whole organisation is quite a major process.
So it's very, very cross-functional. So what you see on the boat is actually a whole concatenation of huge amount of people working towards that.
Yeah, exactly. And we really try, get across the fact that we are a team.
Right.
And the Team New Zealand word is pretty important to us. It's not just about those individuals, because that's what you see at the end of the day. But there's so much effort goes into. Right. The boat had 80,000 hours, man hours in the building of the boat, and then probably that again in the design of the boat. So there's a lot of effort goes into, getting that piece of kit on the water and up and flying. And
so it's not only the team, but the individual relationships are super important as well. You foster those.
No, exactly. And very much so. We really want to have, little groups within the team. So, those friendships that are naturally there, work on fostering those, because everyone keeps talking shop, when they're away.
In the lunchroom.
Yeah, in the lunchroom.
Yeah, exactly. And what about the constraints? I mean, you worked with a lot of constraints compared to probably other teams who had bigger budgets. How did you work with those constraints? Did you see that as a problem, or did you see that as an opportunity? What's the thinking? What's the philosophy?
Well, it is what it is. Your budget's your budget, so you just got to, just be pretty smart with your decision making along the way, and make the tough calls sometimes pretty early and commit to it. Not having the ability to chop and change and try everything is quite good. It keeps the team pretty focused on sort of one path.
Right.
So we do have to be pretty mindful of the decisions we make, and we don't spear off into too many tangents. But that just brings us all back into the same sort of focus and same path.
Cool. And the philosophy, I remember when we talked a few weeks ago, you said there's an opportunity under every stone, to make the boat go faster. Can you talk about some of the philosophy, some of those sayings, just the way of thinking that built?
Yeah, well, no, we're very much all about everything we do is about making the boat go faster, right. And then just also appreciating that everything's going to be better in the future. So with technology, so we always got to be evolving and adapting, and you just can't rest on your laurels at all in the sport. The opposition are amazing sailors and designers and budgets, and they're all striving for the same thing. So you just got to keep that fluid mindset within the organisation that we do have to just keep evolving and keep making things better.
Yeah. And then the disciplines you had in your team. I know everyone's always kitted out in the uniform, and was that a bit of a sort of a sacred thing? And what were the other disciplines? Were you debriefing every day? Did you have lunch together every day? What were the other disciplines?
Yeah, I think all of the teams do very much the same thing now. It's like your Formula One, that's your identity, that's, who you're with, you got your sponsors and that you have to obviously showcase. But I think it just creates a very professional atmosphere. Right. When you're in the team and you're at the base, you feel part of you feel part of something pretty special. That's what we're all about now, is just, keeping that push forward with the one vision of the organisation. So we're all about looking the part and being the part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then there was this transformation from the cyclists to the grinders. I mean, that was a pretty amazing transformation. Can you tell us a little bit about those people and what was that transformation?
Yeah, no, just a bit of innovation there, and those cyclists, they came in Bermuda. We needed guys with big legs.
Yeah.
And we obviously identified that was going to be the key factor in that America's Cup, was to go away from the hand power, use the guys with their legs, freeze up their hands. But then those sailors turned back into grinders in this last cup, and you'd start dealing with those elite athletes. They can change their body around, just give them a few months, amazing what they could do to then be punching out incredible numbers from not really using their arms in the last cup to being all about their guns.
Yeah. So amazing mindset, amazing attitude to transformation, even of their own body.
Yeah, once they realise that's what it's going to be about, that's the direction we're going in. We just make a decision, and okay, you guys, you're not training your legs anymore. Completely go away into another tangent, and that can be a pretty big decision for guys that have been in the gym for years trying to work on their legs, and all of a sudden you say, look, sorry guys, it's about the guns now. That's just an example of some of the big decisions you have to make.
Right. So last question, which is, the word team in Emirates Team New Zealand, how much does that team spirit, how much does that play overall in the total game, the total winning? What is that percentage of?
Yeah, I think that's probably, it's probably 95% of it. It's right up there. It's that much. We're expecting the guys on the floor to do some pretty long hours, and it's pretty intense towards the end of the cup. But like I was saying, those boats take 80-odd thousand hours to build. So, you've got to be, it's day in, day out. And if it's just about a couple of guys on the boat, you need your heroes in the team, that inspires the group.
Yep.
But we need to get the best out of everyone.
Right.
And we can't just be relying on a few guys. That's not what the team's about. We need the best out of the whole group. So a huge amount of effort goes into trying to always just bring out the best in everyone.
And you mentioned too those three principles that you had about leadership, was like being genuine, mucking in and don't expect someone else to do, and also listening and being there for the others. Can you just expand on that a little?
Yeah, no, look, I think just being genuine and absolutely just being able to, when you present the idea of the team, the concept of where we're heading next, it's got to be something people can believe in, and sometimes we're throwing the ball out there pretty far.
Right.
So I think that comes over time and trust, and then having a incredible group of people that it's not just some crazy idea, it can get backed up with actual theory. Yeah, and then being able to listen to everyone's ideas. We sort of feel there's no such thing as a dumb idea. Sometimes there are some pretty dumb ideas, but
Yeah.
it's just good to get them out on the table. That
Right.
then that just stimulates a bit of conversation to go into the actual good idea. Really trying to get the best out of everyone is absolutely key. So just I think being able to listen to make sure everyone feels like they got a voice, but making sure we push each other along as well. We've got pretty high expectations. It's pretty relentless pace we run at. So everyone's pretty exhausted at the end of it, but we expect a lot out of the whole team, and that's why you need to create a team.
Yeah, and I think you said there was even a young designer in there who was sort of fresh out of university and never been a sailor before, but actually had some really great design ideas that made a difference.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, there's always new ideas out there, and then the boat is dealing with a lot of different forces, and it's not just about the hydrodynamics. We don't need to worry too much about the shape of the hull, because once it's out of the water, now it's an aeroplane. You need to be able to release the boat from the water as efficiently as possible, but then you need to understand about all the aerodynamics that are going on. So some of our traditional naval architects were learning a lot from the aerodynamic students coming out and explaining about airflow over the hull at nearly 100 kilometres an hour. So you need to be able to listen to everyone.
Yeah, so it's a great example of sort of that idea of collective intelligence where, ideas can come from anywhere, but, they net up to some new innovation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's what we pretty much do day in, day out.
Great. Hey, thanks very much, Ray, and
you're
congratulations again.
Yeah.
And look forward to doing this some more and hearing more about the next America's Cup. So good luck.
Cheers, Liam. Thank you.
You.
Kiwis can fly. Stanley's most treasured